was the greatest, is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, man. It really is. I don't have any jokes about my kid. No, it is. And you're applauding my wife. She did all the work. Yeah. Yeah, knocking a woman up, that's easy. You just have fun. You unprotected sex, bam, you knock them up, and then they have to deal with it, you know? No matter how much they try to drag you into it, it really is, it's their show. You know? I always say my wife, when my wife was pregnant, I would say my wife, you know, she's pregnant. And then I always have these people like, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. You know, she's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant, I'm still drinking, smoking. Have you driven out to a bar going, I'm just going to have one. All of a sudden you had like 11, right? And you're hammered. And you're thinking, but you're responsible. You're drunk, but you're responsible. You're like, God damn it, I drove my car here tonight. God damn it, I'm driving it home. All right? I'm not going to burden this place of business by taking up a parking space in this completely empty parking lot for the next 6 hours. Now, I am not advocating drinking and driving, but I will tell you, there's nothing better than when all your friends and family know you're hammered. There's nothing better than that walk to the car. It's incredible. Women are screaming, people tearing at your clothes. You feel like you're in the Beatles. Oh my God, no! Stop! And you're like, no autographs. I'm sorry, I have to go. I'll be back. Get him off me. All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid that entire story? She was never called a whore, ever. Just boggled my mind. She knew his wife, first name basis, played with their kids, fucked her husband in their own goddamn bed. That's right down the checklist. First ballot Hall of Fame whore. Right there. Never. Why do you think she hooked up with him? Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking? The giant space between his teeth I could put this mic cord through? Or do you think maybe it's all that kindergarten cop money laying around the goddamn bedroom? You know what did amaze me during all of this was the amount of shit that doctors got from non-doctors / complete fucking morons. People who had to go to summer school. According to my internet research, if you take a little bleach, vitamin D and aspirin. Like my favorite heckle doctors got from people was like, dude, what's the last thing they even cured? What? Fucking polio? It's like, no, HPV. They just came out with the vaccine for HPV. No more warts on your dick. We should be carrying these people around on our shoulders. Thank you for not having to make me go down to the doctor and be like, that's not a birthmark, is it? Or even worse, you're too shy to go, so you try to do self-surgery with a frozen Bud Light can. Stick it on there, freeze it off! Not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, believe women, right? It's a little open-ended, huh? It's just straight across the fucking board. All of them, every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? I know. That's the world we're fucking living in right now. And then, and then people just like, did you see that story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out. Because she says I have a temper. She's like, it's just not that you're trying to fix things. It's that you get frustrated, you punch the wall, the dog starts shaking. I just don't think it's a good idea. You're a comedian. You should tell jokes. He's a plumber. He should plumb, right? Trying to explain to her that losing your shit is part of the process of fixing something. Everybody does that. You buy, right? Yeah. You buy something at IKEA. You get halfway through putting it together. You're like, dude, where the fuck is the fucking... Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Well, honey, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Why? You want to put it together? You want? Well, then you put it together. You put together this fucking particle board piece of fucking shit. Instructions make no sense. I will buy another one. I will buy another one. I'll buy fucking 5 and smash 4 if I want to. Don't tell me what to do. Oh, go to your mother's. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, what story are you going to tell? This one, right? Not the part about how I pay all the fucking bills, right?
You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics and aerodynamics and all that involved. Like if you have it shaped like a twat, I don't think it's going to make it to another country unless you Frisbee it, right? And even then that gap's going to fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't... But if the kid was in the fucking building...
Before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ.
Geez, you'd think I was like trashing the president or something. You guys are really like pulling back
It's
here.
worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh.
Did you guys see the picture of Donald watching his wife vote?
A lot of trust in that relationship.
No, a part of me dies every time I go into a store and I see something. They go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah. I
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-212-5. It was really, you know, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, you don't get it, man. You don't get it till you have it. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense. I was so upset that security, like, escorted him out. I wanted to talk. Like, I started my show blaming women for sexual harassment. That's how I started it. Yes, it was absurd. I wasn't being serious, you children.
Your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord. You just ignore them. It's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy
you know what?
show.
Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
First off, thanks for calling in a couple weeks back, and so blessed to have you sitting here in our 105.9 studio.
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually glad I don't watch the news. I had no idea the economy was tanking until we came in. Yeah, it's great.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. I guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch. I think bankers should be forced to dress like bankers back in the day with like the top hat and the tuxedo. So at least you know what they look like so they can't hide in public as they go to the mall. Just dress like the Penguin on Batman. And just waddle around. At least let me throw a hot dog at you. Something, you piece of garbage. You're not going to go to jail. They're the worst.
Remember that? We had this college agent, great guy, but he used to book us in the middle of fucking nowhere. He'd always call me up, Billy, Scott Bass calling. I have a gig for you in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Now, they don't have a lot of money, but I can build around it.
And then
There won't be a stage. It's at 12 noon in a hallway. Can you do it?
Yeah.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a gas tank.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against a black guy?
They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheelers, Macuzzi.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people. This is like that Hillary commercial where they have the little kids watching politics. I'm like, that's bullshit. Little kids don't watch politics. There you go.
So, like, dude, like this week when I went to upload my podcast to Dropbox and it wasn't working. And, dude, if you want to see something funny, watch me flip out when my kid is sleeping. Because I can't yell and just listen to, dude, I literally grabbed my computer and I was just like, fucking God. Like walking around my fucking kitchen.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house? No,
I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
Yeah. Do my own little thing. Get my little 12-gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna. Get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
You tell it the way it is. I love the podcast.
I really don't. I don't read. I go with my gut. That's my fancy way of saying I don't read.
Well, that's good.
I hang out in bars. I overhear stuff that plumbers say, and then I repeat it on the radio. That's all I'm doing.
I love the podcast.
I just realized I was swinging my legs underneath this as your buddy is videotaping it.
I do.
He really gets into this. Whee! I'm telling jokes. Dude, if you took 90% of my text messages and phone messages and you put them on the news, you would run out of podiums to put in front of me that I would have to apologize. The crap me and DeRosa say to each other, forget it. So you can't talk shit in the room with that guy. Yo, one time this guy stepped to me in the bar. Dude, fuck you. One time the president was giving me shit, and I said, oh, yeah, I'll have you a fucking job in 2 years, and I did it. I'd love to adopt. It's a great thing to do. But if I do it, I'm not telling any of my friends. I'm just going to show up with the kid one day just to piss him off, right? Mine just turned 6. Mine just turned 7. I'd love to just show up with an 8-year-old like dominoes. Yeah. Now I get to tell you what you don't understand. I should adopt. I think it's a great thing to do. And I already know what I want to get. I want to get like an 07, 08. Always garage. Good dentition. You know what I would love to do? I'd love to rescue some kid that works in a sweatshop. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, find the kid that made this shirt. You show up at the factory like, hey, huh? Hey, bring it in. Bring it in, you maniac. How you doing? You're going back to the States. L-shaped couch, flat screen TV, get in the car. The rest you keep going. But you, coming home with me. And that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. Go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him, gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there, right? You wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again? I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Now, one of my fantasies is I want to drive by like a woman's rally and just say the most sexist shit I can think of just to watch them lose their minds. And I'll just drive by real slow and be like, yeah, why don't you get back in the kitchen where you belong? Just to look in their rearview mirror, watching them flipping out in the road, spinning around like Leatherface at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like... It was fucking nuts. Some waitress wrote on like a piece of chalkboard, she goes, we like our beer the way we like our violence, domestic. All right? Yeah, I gotta tell you something. That's a great fucking joke. There is zero fat
on that. You need every word of that joke. You take one word out, it doesn't work. It's a perfect joke. So whatever, nobody gives a shit. One person comes in, they don't like it. They ask the manager to take it down. He's just like, hey, you know, that's our sense of humor here. You know, have a beer, go fuck yourself. That's what we're doing. So she takes a picture of it, she puts it up on Facebook, and all of a sudden people start complaining, and they fired the manager and the waitress because of that. Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, what do they think's gonna happen if somebody reads that joke? Like, you're some guy who would never hit a woman, you know? Would never hit a woman. You can't hit women. You can't. You honestly cannot. You ever see how they fall? They fall like toddlers. You know? 100% true fucking story. I was doing a private gig. Private gigs are the fucking worst. You do a public gig, anybody can show up. It broadens what you can talk about, right? You do a private gig, it's like everybody grew up on the same fucking streets. All your jokes gotta go right down fucking Main Street or you're bombing. So all you do is listen to the first comic to hear what's working and what isn't. You just listen to him as he's up there struggling, going, okay, they like bread. Talk about bread. Get all the bread you can. Don't make fun of the troops. Stay away from the troops, right? So that's what we're doing, right? And the host gets him going, and then he brings up the first act. Okay, she goes on stage. She's not really a comedian, more of a personality. She does her bullshit or whatever, and I'm standing there looking at my jokes, figuring out what I'm doing. She wraps it up. He goes on stage. She goes to get off. I'm thinking, okay, I'm next. I'm looking at my stuff, and she just walks right by me and just fucking, pooh, just flicked me right in the head of my dick and kept walking. Like it was nothing. Just fucking pow, and just kept... I couldn't fucking believe it. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, is this a friend of yours? Was she flirting with you? Was this a joke? None of the above. You know what it was? I swear to God, it was like a bully vibe. Like she was trying to get in my head. Like, there you go, you little red dick. Poof, follow that. And she just kept walking. Dude, my first thought as I saw her walking away, I just wanted to punch her in the back of the head as hard as humanly possible. Like literally make her leave her shoes. You know? But the other side of my brain's like, oh, no, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's a woman. And it's just spitball. Well, fucking boot her in the ass then. Boot her in the ass. Can't hit her, dude. Can't hit her. It's a woman. Well, fucking tell somebody. Tell somebody. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, I'm a guy. I can't fucking tell anybody. Nobody gives a shit what happens to a guy. I'm going to walk up to another man and be like, excuse me, sir, but she just flicked me in my pee-pee and I didn't like that one bit. No, sir, I didn't like that at all. No, I didn't. All the guy's going to be like, dude, if she did that to me, I would have taken my balls out too. Be like, hey, fucking flick both of these fucking sports bars. So now I'm standing there. I'm waiting to go on stage. The dude's doing my intro. I'm trying to think about jokes about bread, and the tip of my dick is still stinging. This is the world I'm in. And right as he's going to bring me on, all of a sudden she came walking out because she was going to go back out to her fucking car. And that's when my brain started firing up again with some ideas. Started thinking shit that I had never thought before in my life. Going like, dude, there she is. There she is. Flick her in the box. Do it, man. Equal rights. She did it to you. You do it back to her. It started making sense. Like, yeah, fuck that. You flick my dick. I'm going to flick your clit. That's right. I'll fucking hit the man in the boat. I'm drop down. Uppercut to the bush. Fuck this shit. Think I'm the kind of person who just can flick my dick and walk away like it ain't shit, right? And it was making sense till right when she got there. Finally, I just started thinking of all the sporting events I had watched. And I realized that the referee only sees the retaliation. He never sees the first aggression. And then you have to go to the yellow card, whatever the fuck you people do over here, right? You go to the penalty box. I'm trying to get in shape, man. I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. Brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's what I realized about myself. Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, feathers yanked, uppercut to its jaw, just in order for me to survive. I'm trying. I saw this thing, though, that they said if everybody went vegan. If everybody went vegan, though, it would be vegetarian, whatever the hell they said. One of those V ones, right? And they said it would be great for the environment. You know, because I guess there's all this cattle standing around, and when they fart, the gas goes up in the atmosphere and causes something. You know, if everybody went vegan, the air would be... If everybody drove an electric car, if everybody just had some snowshoes on... Nobody has the balls to come out and say it and just say, look, 85% of you have to go. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president, which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. Fucking I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady. And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all going to be, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady.
I don't mind that people use roids. I think they should use roids because they're using themselves as guinea pigs, and it'll all trickle down to us one day. And after they messed up, you know, their heads get all big. I'm saying by the time we're 80, they're going to have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're going to have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're going to be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all going to be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates. Those guys in the 70s, the stuff they took in the 70s.
Oh, in the 70s, the steroids were crazy.
It was like horse tranquilizers. You came out with like a mane, just slapping children around.
They didn't have a mane. No one had a mane.
Some people would argue that.
So it's good for the sport.
I love it.
Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault?
Surprised feminists haven't had a problem with the French language yet.
It's like, what's this gender? There's no such thing
why
as gender.
Is la maison? Why is the house feminine? Is he saying that women are supposed to fucking stay home and fucking cook for you? And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up, holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of it. Have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian. It's not down. It's in here. They try to take it. It's not. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad. You know, unless you're like a sociopath. Then shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, you're amazing. Amazing your accomplishments over the last few years. I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijacked the woke movement. Generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trashing white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't. But let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to.
Fire
Wait.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, he does.
I should have stayed in that bitch. I had a pair of 6.
I had a pair of 7s.
These bastards.
You want
2,
White
4,
vodka?
7.
Yes,
What do you want? What do you want?
Vodka.
Oh, I got a deal though, right?
Yeah. Oh, you got a deal.
Wait, can I deal for him if he makes me a drink?
What do you
What
want?
kind you want?
Send this deck
I want a whiskey.
Hey, Morgan, you want Red Bush? Swear to God, that's the name of it.
Is that what it is?
Swear to God.
Yeah, it's
All right.
Red
You
Bush.
wanted vodka?
Yes,
Weird.
please.
You know, I was reading a little bit about you, and it says that you have a tendency to kind of go with your first thought
Yeah,
because reading makes you sleepy.
that's right. And my first thought is this is the best week to be here, the week before the Super Bowl.
That is so true.
Before all the whores fly in, you know?
Yeah. But
Just want to get out.
Wow.
Just want to get out of here before that. What is true? This is like the Oscars for prostitutes.
Okay, all right.
This entire week.
Let's remember we're G-rated here, folks. All right, so we're going to go back to a safer subject because, as you know,
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
this is National Blueberry Pancake Day.
By the way, I was in the doctor's office this morning. I'm fine, but just FYI, little medical note. I had black poo.
Black or bloody?
Well,
Black is bloody.
Black is
unless
bloody.
you take, unless you ingest bismuth, which is in Pepto-Bismol, then you're
Over the weekend, I had black poo.
or iron.
Yeah, and
Wait a minute.
yeah.
So if somebody said I had blood in my stool, they don't actually see blood. They see it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI,
Wait,
the blacker
wait.
it is.
What sort of background do you have?
I was a nurse.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. Wow.
because you really came off like I was like. No, this happens a lot on podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm listening to a comedian like telling me how my liver works. I'm just like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right.
Yeah.
Tell them
so
about.
it was. So the higher up on your GI that the bleeding happens, let's say it's if in your
Don't
stomach.
talk shop. What's GI?
Gastrointestinal.
Okay.
Yeah. The higher up there.
A pilot.
that-
Just kind of went in that direction.
But you actually grew up outside of Boston, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Linfield when I was really little, and then from about 1976 on, I lived in Canton, Mass.
Ah, very nice. I'm also from Massachusetts.
Oh, all right.
Not that you care, but I just wanted to let you know
Yeah, I mean,
that.
we're not going to hang out or anything.
Yeah, I know. There's absolutely no shot of that. That much I know.
All right. Top.
Varsha good.
Here the goo. Here the do?
What do you say?
Heard the do.
Her to do.
Heard the do? Is that how they say how are you?
Of course.
Brah. That's all I got.
Welcome to Sweden.
Well, thank you. Thank
You have
for
been here
having me.
before, right?
Yes, I have. I came here in August of 2009. My first time ever coming to Sweden. And I got to tell you, I got to go with Hitler on this one. You guys are some good-looking sons of bitches. Yes.
Can you see him?
Yeah, that's the. That's one of the founding fathers who said that all men are created equal as long as they're white. Right? Isn't that what it is? One of those guys?
No, it's not. It's
Wasn't he
the
on
Quaker Oats man.
I thought
all
that
right,
was the
and we have. I think,
bicentennial Fruit Loops guy.
no, it's not. But speaking of that, let's see. Do we have another one, or is that it? Oh.
Oh, that is Johnny Mathis. It looks like the cover of that Christmas album he had. No?
Sorry.
It's like, where were all those racists the last two elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine with that. But this white woman is going to take my jet skis, right? I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions on millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions.
You know, that's you. That's the dark side of you, that you didn't want to say something nice. I get it. But me, I'm sort of the Jimmy Fallon.
This is your inner child, and your mother didn't hug you, and now you're putting it on me. Because I didn't give you a compliment at the right thing?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go first in the compliment game. So what are you saying? I always have to go first? That's kind of
It's
egotistical.
nice
isn't
if
it?
you go first
Oh,
for
okay.
a change.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I said nice things last time about you. You could have said that last time you were here when you were hungover. F is for family this Friday.
Laura Dern, Sam Rockwell, Justin Long.
Look at you.
David Koechner.
Look at you.
That's right. That's
Look
right.
at
Got
you.
some big names.
Heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Swinging the pipe.
Bill Burr doing big boy things.
Look at him.
Look
All
at
dressed
you.
up doing the town.
Look at you. We'll take a break here. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Dan. You know what? I love your glasses.
Thank you, Bill.
See, that was first. Now you're supposed to say something about my jacket. It's from the Han Solo collection.
But you have to. We always fight. We fight often.
No, because I go on stage and then you try to correct my jokes.
I don't try to correct
Yeah, you
your
do.
jokes.
You're like, but what
Sometimes-
if you said if the woman did this because of this? And you
That
only-
was
you
one
only-
time, and I admit I was being aggressive.
Micro.
It was a microaggression.
Microaggressive, yeah.
Sometimes I read interviews with you, and you talk about everything you hate, and if you added it all up, you would get me. But somehow we love each other. Am I correct in saying that? I think that you love me. Because every time we fight, as I'm driving home, I get a text from you that says, you know I love you, right? And I go, yeah, I love you too.
That isn't me. I've never said, you know,
Are you fucking serious?
Well, my memory isn't good, but I don't remember doing that.
I'll show you.
What, you save
I
them?
can't believe you're... No, text just exists. Yeah, I press save on my text. What kind of phone do you have?
No, I like delete them after a while. What are you saving it for?
You delete texts?
Yeah.
Oh, I never do because all our friends die and then it's all you have left.
How many of you had?
Die?
I'm up. I counted.
I have a huge list.
I'm 30. 30.
Yeah.
Get something funny out of that.
That's what you do. I'm not.
This phone, I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water and they're going to be walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online. And he also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah,
somehow
by all means,
compromise your
keep talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
Seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air, I'll cut.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well,
There's
you can mention the amount.
There's absolutely crazy people out there.
Yeah. No. Whew. All right. I don't know why that got so flat on my part.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel
that's
you were
probably
being
some-
disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know I mean, we did maybe two jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen,
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
Well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
all right, I'm not totally following.
Excluding yourself, greatest 5 stand-ups of all time for you.
It's funny you said excluding yourself. Whenever I watch rappers, they always go like, "So me."
I thought I'd make it easier for you. Just get yourself out of that.
It's so fucking funny. It's like nauseating, the narcissism, and then there's something about the honesty of that I love. Well, I'm obviously fucking amazing.
But when Kanye does it, you go, yeah, that's fair. You could, that's legitimate to put yourself in the top 5, and he definitely would.
Yeah, and there's something about it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to listen to somebody talking shit about themselves. Top 5?
Top 5 all
right.
time.
Okay, Pryor, Carlin, Joan Rivers. This is where it gets hard. Like, who am I going to put in? Like, I just love so many people. These are just influential people for me. Cheech and Chong,
Go one more.
Sam Kinison. I'm not going one more. I got
He's going to give us the top 50.
I only don't throw Patrice in there just because I knew that idiot. And it would bug him. Yeah. It would bug him if he heard me and if I put him in or if I didn't. But, Mitch Hedberg, Doug Stanhope, Joe Rogan. This is why I hate doing this. Mike Epps. I know I'm going to forget somebody.
Chappelle.
Oh, obviously, Jesus Christ.
I'd love it if you said, nah, not him.
Jesus Christ. It's hard to do people that are doing it right now because you're making me look back.
Yeah.
Obviously him. Jesus Christ. Me doing that is literally like when the guy wins the Oscar and he forgets to thank his wife or his mother. The fuck did I forget, Dave?
Yeah.
There was a few guys that I saw that were like no-brainers. Dane was one. Like the shit that he gets through, the level that guy was killing. Dude, he put the fear in God in guys that have been doing it for 20 years. We used to do Dick Doherty, rest his soul, his comedy clubs and all, Drake at Mass and all these places. And Dane would have the headliner like pacing in the back.
Damn.
He was killing that hard, and he would be like, I shouldn't have to follow that. There's no, and my favorite thing, there's no jokes here. It's like, well, listen to the crowd. There's something going on here.
Right,
and he doesn't get credit. He kind of came up with like a new genre sort of style, like of it. And, it's just a weird fucking business, man.
It is. Some people, it's like the Bo Burnham thing. Some people figure out, not only did he figure out a new way of doing comedy, he did the MySpace shit too. I mean, he was ahead of it.
That guy is a total fucking trailblazer. What I love is all the shit he got in the beginning. He just shut everybody down, and he totally delivers. And then in the end, you find out this guy's a monster fucking talent.
Oh yeah,
that can kind of do everything.
Yeah,
in front and behind. That he made some other movie. I forget the name of it years ago, about like teenage kids in your first date.
8th grade.
Oh my God, it was a fucking.
I never saw it.
It was a great movie.
Yeah,
great fucking movie. He just totally put you back into like your first crushes and the dumb shit. Like he had like, the kid has like a date. He's like trying to comb his hair and the dumb shit that you did when you were a kid. And I saw that with my wife, and we were like that. And I just remember thinking like, that's his first. I think that was his first movie.
Yeah,
and it was like, I mean, this is incredible.
He's a talent.
He's a talented son of a bitch.
It's interesting. People never say Kinison. I think people have forgotten Kinison. Chris Rock said Kinison was a lost.
Yeah, what about Rock? What about Rock?
Yeah, Chris.
Well, some of those guys, it's like you don't need to say it because they're like all. I got to throw somebody in there that. Fucking Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
dude, Jim Carrey being Tony Clifton, imitating reenacting the Kennedy assassination is one of the greatest pieces of physical comedy you're ever gonna fucking watch.
Quick impression, John Kennedy.
It's unfucking believable. And I got a chance when I did SNL to talk to him about it. I go, "Did you work that out?" He goes, "Nah, he just saw the car and he got in and did it." And it's just like, that's just thing. Just like, fuck, I gotta work hard. Yeah. So there you go. We did it. We talked fucking world politics right down. I know there's other people. George Gobel I liked. Gonna go back to the old school guys. George Gobel.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my God, Rodney! Come on.
Yeah, so good.
There's too many of them.
There you go. Bill's favorite 5 stand-ups.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
I'm glad you brought him up.
I mean, look,
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Dave Attell.
Oh,
David
David
Attell
Tell
is brilliant.
He's fucking brilliant.
You almost have to be just like, you got to do like, all right, your favorite comedians in New York City during this period. Because being then, it would have been Chappelle, Attell, Louis C.K.
Fitzsimmons is such a... so he came right before you from Boston?
Yeah, he was... as far as in Boston, there was that group of comics was... there was Rogan, Greg Fitzsimmons...
Dane?
No, Dane actually started right out of high school, so he started in 90. I thought he started in 91, but like Dane was more my generation. And who else was up there? Like Jim Loletta, Todd Parker, fucking Robbie Prince, all of that. Those are like, all of that crew. And then after that, it was I came up with like Bobby, Dane, Patrice. Gary Gulman came like right after that. Orny. And there was a great.
That's a crazy class.
Yeah, it was great. And then when we moved, and then Jersey had like Florentine and Norton and all that, and then we all just sort of came into New York at the same time, and and then all of that shit happened.
Yeah, the Patrice doc has little snippets. Thank God somebody was rolling a camera back then. There's a scene where you guys are all hanging on the sidewalk, and then Rich Voss walks up and goes, "What is this, a couple of middles?" 0 laugh, a pause, and then everybody laughed at him. How bad that bombed. And I was like, oh, that's such a great little moment that I don't feel like we have anymore.
Were fucking brutal to each other. It was so stupid. When I look back now, I mean, it's funny, but it was so stupid. We didn't write one script, one sketch. All we did was try to destroy each other's confidence. It was just such like, yeah, it was like a bunch of abused like rescue dogs all put in the same, with like one pork chop there. It was just fucking... Yeah, dude, I used to fucking have anxiety going down to the cellar, and I was just thinking of everybody. I would think like 3 fucking insults for just to kind of get, I was like, okay, if it comes at me, I'm going to get it off me, and I'll send it this way, and, but what if Bobby's not there? Bobby's not there, I can't use that. It's like, and you couldn't look at the lineup. Like
right.
You can't, so you had no idea it was going to be down there.
And then the worst is when you say one and they're like, "You prepared that." I did. I thought I was going to be smarter. Shit.
We missed that. We really missed out on that. Like I guess when I first got in, I remember Colin Quinn and Keith like beating up on me when I was like brand new, and I was like, "This is amazing. This is it," But my first.
And somehow it became like toxic.
I know.
This is bad, and then like you go in there now, and it's just like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, I'm not going to romanticize like it was all, because I was comics going to me like, why do you sit down there? Just go down and do your spot. And if I was a healthier person, I would have been like, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'd like to come down here and feel good about myself, not feel worse. Oh my God, the amount of shirts I could never wear again.
Right.
It was just like, I remember one time. I think it was Keith. Keith was getting so trashed for what he had on. He just stood up in the middle of the pounding and just ran out. And I remember, you can do that? I didn't know you could leave. I thought you'd just sit here until it was over.
Because so many people like pretend that they don't give a fuck. Both in my business and in other businesses. I don't give a fuck. Hey, you know me. I don't give a fuck. Those people that advertise them. Like, that guy clearly, in the best way, didn't give a fuck. He really cared about people and stuff, but like he did what he wanted to do. And when he was on SNL, how big a gig that was, because there was so few channels, the internet hadn't blown up yet, and even with basic cable and everything, I mean, it was still, if you were on Saturday Night Live and you were doing Weekend Update, it was one of the most coveted gigs a comedian could have, and you were part of this lineage of, at that point it was, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, right on through to Dennis Miller's reign when he did it, and did Colin Quinn come after? I think Colin came after, but it was always just like the best of the best comics that they had doing it, and continued on with Tina Fey and all of them, and no one's walking away from that job. And if some suit at NBC tells you
they don't like the jokes you're doing and be funnier. You know, you're shaking in your. I'd be like, oh fuck, you know, I'm going to lose this big gig. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to piss these people off or whatever. I guess he was doing all those OJ jokes, and I forget how the story went. There was somebody there that knew OJ or something, and was telling Norm to back off and move on to something else. So what does Norm do? He just doubles down and he just does even more OJ jokes, which is like, you know, the balls that took to do that. And he ended up losing the gig. He got fired. And people loved him and he was fucking hilarious, but he, you know, he didn't back down to the big fucking guy over there, and he ended up losing the gig. So, you know, as luck would have it, I think it was Dirty Work, came out like a year and a half later or so. So he has to promote it, and he's on the press thing. So Lauren has him back and has him host the show. And I remember he went out there, and his opening joke, he just comes out. And he was just like, something like this. Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, I actually got fired from this show about a year and a half ago because they said I wasn't funny. And now here I am. I'm hosting the show. So that means one of two things. Either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks.
All right, you guys have been a great crowd. I appreciate you sitting here with us. We're going to bring out the next act. You guys ready? Good. Your final comedian of tonight. You guys all know him. He's hilarious. You've heard him numerous times on the Opie and Anthony show. Show him some love, Bill Burr.
All right, thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. How are you? Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 a.m. on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process. Yeah, they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's why, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking? Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know. Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof, you don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bill Burr, round of applause for Bill, man. Great. Did you have a nice time tonight? Thank you guys, and I really mean that for supporting this show. Let me thank you so much for being a part of it and providing the theme song. I love you.
Anytime.
Thank you guys very much. We'll see you again. I appreciate it.